and welcome to Gulf News Straight Bat. Afghanistan have outclassed Sri Lanka at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium with an 8-wicket win in the opener of the Asia Cup 2022 tonight. Let's get straight to the action. Anis Bhai, did you expect that? What happened to Sri Lanka today?
Thank you, Imran. Hello, Sham, and hello all to the beautiful people of Gulf News. Yes, Afghanistan has just blown away Sri Lanka. So if you have to ask me what happened to Sri Lanka, I would say in one line, they did not turn up. And you have to give credit to Afghanistan rather than criticizing Sri Lanka. They came with a plan and they just demolished Sri Lanka.
But Anis, how can it be that a team just doesn't turn up tonight? There was, I think, 3 players, I just seen the scores, who were out for a golden duck. I mean, 3 players not even putting on a single run for the team. Why did that happen tonight?
Well, Sri Lanka is a young team. If you see the stars, they have a couple of players who have got a lot of experience. Otherwise, they're all young players. And I remember Umar Gul, when he was on chat with me for an exclusive interview for Gulf News, he specifically said that he's been made as a bowling coach just to ensure that Afghanistan is not perceived as a spinner's paradise or spinner's attack. He wants to show what Afghanistan do with the pace, and that's what Fazal did. That in the first 2 overs, he picked up 3 wickets, and Sri Lanka were tottering, were 3 for 3 or something. And then they couldn't come back.
Do you think the conditions had something to do with it tonight, Anis?
You have to say that in the first part, there is something for the bowlers. And last year also we saw, and batting first is a little bit of a disadvantage. But having said that, you can't be bowled out for 100.
It's a very low. Let's bring Sham. Sham, you saw the game. Why do you think Sri Lanka just never got going today?
The first 3 wickets actually set them back. When you are 2 for 3, it takes a real good effort to dig yourself out of that hole, which they seemed to do for a while. Then they lost their head, and they threw their wickets away. 2 runouts in 2 balls. That actually sums up the kind of panic within their ranks. Like Anis said about the inexperience in the side, this is what happens with inexperience. You lose your head. You just don't seem to find your way out of it. That's precisely what happened to Sri Lanka. And like Anis said about Afghanistan, let's give credit to Afghanistan. They never allowed Sri Lanka to wriggle out of that hole.
Sham, what do you think the tactics were today for Sri Lanka? Was it to just start to score heavy as quick as they possibly could? They didn't look like they were playing themselves into the game.
Actually, this is a T20 format, so you have to score big. But the thing is, when you lose 3 wickets in the first two overs, basically means you are cooked there. So you really need a good partnership going, which never came Sri Lanka's way. But it looked at one point where Rajapaksa seemed to take charge, but the thing is that his loss actually hit them badly, and the middle overs they never could get past the spinners, because Afghanistan has some real good spinners in Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman and Nabi himself. Although there was not much purchase for the spinners in today's game, but the thing is, since Sri Lanka is already on the back foot, they could never launch an assault on the spinners.
You guys both mentioned that Sri Lanka have got an inexperienced team, but do you think it's a case of Afghanistan producing better cricketers now? Anis, what do you think?
Yes, you have to give it to them. As I mentioned in my opening line, that as much as Sri Lanka were poor, but Afghanistan were spot on. They came with a plan. They attacked with their fast bowlers, and like Sham mentioned, and I did mention, when you are 2 for 3, it's difficult to come back. And you also asked me one question, Imran, where you said that was batting first a little bit of disadvantage. Sometimes you have to accept the fact that there's a little bit for the fast bowlers. You give that respect. We saw what happened in the World Cup last year, where India also lost 3 wickets to Pakistan early, and then they could hardly recover. So maybe if you can play out the power play, it doesn't mean that if you have a power play, you have to go big, bang, bang. If you're 30 for no loss, you can always make up and score a 180. I would, in fact, this is a signal for both India and Pakistan. Come tomorrow, if they lose the toss, don't lose up front early wickets, and then make sure that you you go bang bang in the end and put up a sizable total.
Anis, had you been there tonight at the stadium, what would have been your advice to the players when you were sending the batsmen out, having seen them coming in for ducks, golden ducks? What would you have told them? Just, settle down a little bit. Was there a case of too much nerves in the team today?
You could see that, Imran, because one of the batsmen had not nicked, and unfortunately the DRS also went against them, because once the batsman is given out, sometimes it goes against you. We would debate on that some other day, but there was panic. Sri Lanka totally panicked, and as I said, they did not turn up. But having said that, Afghanistan not only turned up, but they knew their plans, what they had to do. And this Sri Lankan team, as I said, inexperienced. And when you have inexperience, there was a cat among the pigeons.
Sham, you mentioned earlier this is a Group B game. The group is tougher than Group A because all the teams have an equal chance. But what does this now mean for Sri Lanka having been beaten so badly tonight? What do they do going forwards?
Oh, I mean, which means they are the odds are pretty much against them. So what they need to do is the next match, which is against Bangladesh, they need to win and win big, and hope Afghanistan beat Bangladesh.
What do you think? There's a lot of hoping going on there. Do you think that can
Yes.
that can happen?
It can happen in cricket, but the thing is, this loss actually is a body blow to Sri Lanka's hopes.
Anis, what do you think? They've blown their chances. Can they still get themselves back into this tournament?
Well, they can definitely come back in the tournament, but like Shah mentioned, that Bangladesh also has to lose to Afghanistan. See, this is a group of death, and only two teams can go through. And Afghanistan has already put one step ahead inside the door by winning big. Their net run rate is 5 point something, and Sri Lanka's net run rate is minus 5 point something. So the only way Sri Lanka can get through is that Bangladesh has to lose both to Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. Otherwise, I don't see them coming.
Well, we'll find out how they go on. The big one tomorrow, let's have a little chat about, is obviously India against Pakistan. And this edition of the Asia Cup has the potential for these two teams playing 3 times. But Anis, who do you think is going to win tomorrow, considering the form that they've both been in? Who do you think is going to edge it tomorrow?
I remember very vividly last time when I was asked this question, I went on to blow my trumpet of an Indian fan and said that India is going to blow away Pakistan, having that they played the IPL, and Pakistan just blew away India by 10 wickets. So I'm not going to be putting on the hat of a predictor who's going to win. I believe the team which plays smart cricket. I will use the word smart cricket. I remember Angelo Matthews saying that it's not about going hard. Sometimes you have to accept their condition. You have to respect the condition. And as I said earlier, if you make sure that if you bat first and you don't lose wickets, you can always recover and score a 180, and that can be defended. So my advice to both the teams, if you lose the toss, don't think that you lost the match. Play smart.
But Anis, in a game like this, with the tensions, with the rivalry, with the quality of the players, with the fans in the stadium going to go berserk watching this game, do you think both teams will be able to keep their heads and try to play smart cricket?
Now you've played enough cricket. I know there's a little bit of experience in the Pakistan camp compared to Indians camp, but that's what we will have to see. This is like a platform for them for the World Cup. So if they prepare well, this is going to be a stepping stone for them to go ahead in the World Cup. So we'll have to see. Yes, nerves do play a big role. And when you do well against a country like India or Pakistan, that's where you see the temperament of a player.
Sham, what's your thoughts for tomorrow's huge game? How's it going to go?
I would take Anis Bhai's advice and not pick a winner here, because it's very, very tricky when it comes to India and Pakistan, simply because the teams are evenly matched. Not just that, see, India-Pakistan matches, for all the passion it arouses, the quality of cricket never rises to never matches the level of the intensity, simply because both teams are their nerves are short. So actually, who wins on the day is the team which holds the nerves better. They win. This has been the history. I mean, if you look at every match, whoever is won, they have held their nerves well. So I would say the same thing will happen tomorrow. Whoever holds their nerves, whoever plays it cool, will win tomorrow.
Do you think, Sham, it'll have a big effect for Pakistan missing their key bowler, Shaheen Shah Afridi, and I think Jasprit Bumrah is also missing tomorrow. There's two these are match winners in their own right. They're both not going to be there. How will that affect the game tomorrow?
Yes, it will affect both the teams, because both of them are their spearheads. More so for Pakistan, because if you look at the previous T20 World Cup win, that was completely set up by Shaheen Shah Afridi. His first spell actually changed the complexion of the match, and India was on the back foot since then, and Pakistan never allowed India to come back to the match. So, like even today in today's press conference, Babar Azam said that if Shaheen Shah Afridi was there, the game would be completely different. Pakistan approach would be completely different. So here, Pakistan would really miss Shaheen Shah Afridi. And likewise for India as well, Jasprit Bumrah is a proven match winner. So his absence will be felt.
Anis, you'll have the last word. Let's have a little quick chat to wrap up about Virat Kohli. He's obviously coming into the match with a lot of pressure. He's been talking about his mental health and everything. How do you think he's going to get on tomorrow?
Well, if I have to say very honestly, his press conference up close about Virat Kohli has totally moved me. And he said that you have to realize that your body is not a machine, that it can go on and go on. You need to give a break. And I believe that this break might bring him back. And I only hope he plays his style of cricket and doesn't play the gungo style of cricket, which the new Indian approach has been there. So if the others are going hard, he needs to bat, because his presence on the field not only gives a calmness in the Indian dressing room, but also makes the opposition fear, because Virat Kohli, we all know what he can do with the bat.
All right, it's going to be absolutely fascinating. We'll be back tomorrow night. For the latest news, head to gulfnews.com for all the latest in sports. We've got lots of videos, we've got lots of commentaries and reviews and everything. So make sure you head down to there. In the meantime, we shall see you again tomorrow night. That's all from us. Good night.